Hey there, I'm here today and I'm going to be doing a flip through of my March A5 setup. As you can see, I am currently in my GM Louis Vuitton, which is the same size as an A5 for those of you who don't already know. And so let's go ahead and jump in and get started. So as you can see, I have it set up over here on the left. I'll just kind of walk you through what I'm using this month. What I have, I've made a couple changes and added a few things. I'm not sure exactly how all of those are going to be working for me, but this is what we're doing. We have Pepper, my cat, who's joining us. So if you get a black cat in the frame, sorry about that. On the left, just in the pockets, I have from Cloth and Paper some of their transparent, and it's the Dusk sticky notes. And what I usually use with these, I just kind of have them, I'll take one out for the day and just add it to this front page here. Now, if you haven't used these before, I have never successfully used these with anything other than a Sharpie. And oftentimes I'll use this for any sort of to buy items that I have for that day or week, depending on when I can get over to the store. But the only reason I only ever use Sharpie on these, and I'll kind of show you, is pretty much every ink I've ever used with these smears or just rubs off right away. So I always kind of have a Sharpie on hand if I want to be using these. I've had these in a couple colors. I'm not sure if I will order them again because of that reason. I do like the way they're see-through. They're kind of pretty, but yeah, I'm not sure if I would use these again, just because I always have to have that Sharpie with me. But you can see I have these two little quote cards as well. Now these, I believe, obviously they come from Erin Condren, but I'm thinking that they were in the winter surprise box, either that or maybe the fall surprise box that they did. And I just kind of keep them clipped in place with a couple of these gold paper clips. And I think I got those from either Michael's or Hobby Lobby, one of the two. So I oftentimes keep several of these just kind of in my planner. I also use them as a daily page marker to sort of be able to easily flip to where I am for the day. And then behind here in the sort of the first flap is where I keep a few of the stickers that I'm currently using. I have several different ones, but I don't put a lot in my planner just for space and bulk, and you know, I don't use them that often. But I'll link below to the Etsy shops that I got these in. These ones, they're little filming stickers, and so obviously if I'm going to be doing a YouTube video, or if I'm doing any sort of promotional video I've done like some Instagram takeovers with Bookstagrammers, if they've asked me to kind of take over their Instagram stories for the day. So I'll just kind of use this as like a little marker in my schedule to say, hey, you know, you're going to be filming today. Look presentable. So I've got to get up and do hair and makeup and things like that. These come from Proud Sticker Designs. So I'll put a link to these in the links below. And then I have two other just sort of sticker pages. These come from Procrastiplanner, and these are part of the HB90 method stickers that she makes in collaboration with Sarra Cannon's HB90 program. And I just have the newsletter and then the right stickers in here. And I don't think I have them with me. I have the blog ones as well that I tend to be, those are the ones that I use the most frequently from that collection. And then back here, I just have some of the Erin Condren, the circle stickers, and I'll use these mostly because the monthly pages that I have in here, the squares for the days are really too small for these. So I'll use these on my like daily pages if there's something unusual or something I want to bring attention to, or I'm focusing on something particularly that day. I'll just sort of put that in there. Now, this first vellum that I have, this says, "I'm bothered in my lane, happy, focused, and flourishing." And I got that from from Planner Press. And I just this was something I wanted to kind of focus on for the month of March. And just as a reminder to myself that, you know, your journey is your journey. And the only person that you ever need to worry about with regards to how far along are you in your process, where are you in your career, is really yourself. And I think it's, it's good to sort of look at what other people are doing in terms of, one, cheering them on for their successes, but also two, to sort of give you a gauge if that's something that, like, you see something, you're like, hey, that's something I would like to achieve as well. But it's not a reflection, nor should it be a reflection of how you should feel about where you are. It's maybe something to aim for, but your life, your career is yours. And so you're sort of just staying focused on your lane and being grateful and happy for where you are on your own journey. So I just thought that this was a really sort of good reminder as we come into March, and we're definitely into the new year by now. And then this little asterisk paper clip is the rose gold, and I got this from Erin Condren a while ago, and I've had it, and I just think it's pretty, so I like to kind of keep it in the front. And I use it to clip this vellum page to a solid white kind of cardstock page, just to kind of keep those together. So then moving into the planner, I have 4 of these frosted glass dividers that I have right at the front here, and then I have labeled them with, I would say, like, probably my four main focuses that I have for my planner, and that's my health, finance, writing, and marketing that I have kind of going on. And I don't currently, what I'm using these spaces for is just notes. So I'm not going to, I won't share sort of my personal note taking on those, but I have pages just as aligned Erin Condren. I love the weight of Erin Condren paper, and so I use it a lot. And I'm using these areas for notes or things that I want to remember, or future planning, things that I'm thinking of in terms of what I need to be mindful of, or I need to maybe work towards. And that's basically, I'm using this as just kind of like catch-all note taking under these particular things. And even into the writing, like, I've even used this if I'm having an idea about the current book that I'm working on. So I'm about halfway through my current book, and if I'm having thoughts about a scene or what's coming up, I keep this here so that I can just jot it down, and I always have this planner with me, so I'm never losing those thoughts or the things that I want to remember in the moment. And then here, now I do have I have a whole marketing planner that I keep, and that's a monthly Erin Condren. And I think what I'll do is I'll do a separate video of that flip through. But again, like, I like to have this with me here in case there's something I think of, because the marketing notebook that I have is the large Erin Condren, and so I don't carry that around with me everywhere. But it's nice to just sort of have this if I want to take notes on a thought, something that I have, like I'd like to try, then I have this here. So then we're going to move into this sort of next section, and I have this sort of tabbed out, and this is a new thing that I've been kind of working on. I created this sheet in an attempt to sort of have all of my, it's kind of like daily tasks, and I'll show you here in a second. Well, I'll just wait and I'll show you. But I have the area kind of marked out with this vellum quote page. I'm not sure if you can see it, even though I've put this black divider page behind it. But it says, because I'm addicted to that feeling of having my shit together. And this is also from Planner Press, and I thought that this was just kind of perfect lead-in for this document that I have created. Now, this is kind of a rough draft of it. I've used it a few different days now, and what I was looking to do was sort of have the bulk of different areas in my life that I wanted to sort of be aware of or track on a daily basis. And so today is, it's actually, I know this is my March flip through, but it's actually February 20th. And so what I would do is I would put the date at the top, and you can see down the side here, I have it broken into sort of like life categories. And I was thinking I haven't decided what I actually want to call this page yet. I was thinking it's like a daily index almost for me. And I have it marked off as far as my career, my writing career, health, things around my home, finances. And then down here at the bottom, I have like a learning and fun section. And so the idea with this is that, every day you could just use a new page, and anything that I would want to be tracking or thinking about or accomplishing that day can be noted on here. And so, if it was a writing day for me, I might, take a highlighter and just, I don't know if this will show up on the blue, it might not be a good choice, but I might highlight that, I wanted to write today and I wanted to blog today. If I needed to write, if there was an article that I was writing for a magazine or for and someone else's blog, if I was giving an interview that day, I would highlight that, and then I would write in here what was the topic of the interview, what is the topic of the article, and then what I would do if I had accomplished that. So it's like I'm writing this day, and so say if I was writing today and I got to 500 words, then I would cross off this box. And then I'm writing, and when I get to 1,000 words that day, I would cross off that box. So it's kind of I'm going through and highlighting the things that I want to be thinking of or tracking that day. And then it gives me a little bit of space to kind of write something about it. So here under social media, if I was, posting an Instagram pic this day, I might be, it might be a book that I'm reading. And I might share that with my Instagram followers. And if I was, whatever I'm doing on social media, to just kind of keep track of all that. And so I also have down here like under health. And so if I wanted to make sure that I was going to exercise that day, and maybe my plan was going to be that I was going to ride the Peloton that day, or if I was doing any kind of lifting, meditation, where is my mindset? Am I drinking enough water? Just things that I want to highlight. I can just kind of go through and highlight with my marker. And then when I have done those things for the day, I can just kind of go through and mark them off. And so then at the end of the day, I can go through and just sort of review what was happening. Is there anything I want to carry over for the next day? And from there, down here in our home, you can see this is obviously much more like chores and things like that. And so I have like the bedroom. Is the bed made? Did I vacuum? Are my clothes put away? Is it organized under the kitchen? So I have it under each of the areas, and then under each of those are these little kind of subcategories of kind of regular chores that I do, or even if it's maybe a weekly thing that I'm doing, I can highlight it. So like if today my office is a disaster and I need to tidy it, I need to dust, I need to clean the floor. If that's sort of where I am, then after I have done those things, I can go through and mark them off. I have a place down here for pets and groceries. Obviously I could not do a grocery list here, but just that I needed to go grocery shopping, or if there's some high ticket items I needed to remember. And of course that's oftentimes where I'll put here, like if I'm out of oat milk, we're out of coffee, big items I really don't want to forget, in addition to like having my list. Here I have a section for my finances, and then, any books that I'm reading. So right now I'm currently reading an advanced reading copy of The Perfect Neighborhood. And so I would just sort of put that, and I'm watching that Inventing Anna, although that would be fun. Both of these would be fun. Inventing Anna, because I have a learning section and I have a fun section. So like if I'm watching maybe YouTube videos on different organizational methods, or I'm watching YouTube videos on, it's fun for me too, but I might put it here under the learning section. So I'm kind of playing with this. I don't like the colors that I've chosen for it. I will use the ones that I've already printed, but I'm thinking I want to go to sort of a muted pinkish taupey color, and so this might look different when we do the April flip through, but this is what I'm doing for now. So there's that, and then we're getting into the actual sort of calendar. Now obviously I'm in my Louis Vuitton right now, but the calendar inserts that I'm using, I stole from I had ordered the Erin Condren, and I'll just show this to you, floral A5 6-ring binder and the whole year of papers came with this. Now, I'm not using this right now, but this is where I'm keeping the extra inserts because they won't all fit at one time. So they give you enough for the whole year because I do the daily pages. So they won't all fit, but it's like I store them in there. And I might switch back over to that floral planner for the spring, maybe for April and May. I'll go back into that. But for right now, we're in this. And last year I was using the cloth and paper calendar, which I loved, was great. And I think I just wanted a little more color. Like I didn't want the bright, crazy colors, but I really do love this sort of muted, soft tones that they have in the Erin Condren the Erin Condren floral collection right now. And so that's what I wanted to get for my yearly A5 planner, and that's what we're using. So we can see it opens up with their goals page that they have. I don't have any of that filled out right now. And then we get the January through June 2022 at a glance pages. And then interestingly enough, this then on the back of this pops over to January 2023 through December of 2023. And I thought this was a mistake. For a while. It took me a while to figure it out because I'm like, well, why does it only have January through June? And then you come over here and it's January 2023 through December of 2023. And the reason why is, I'll just show you now so I don't forget, is because halfway through the year, you get another one of these 2022 pages. And this is where you find your July of 2022 through December of 2022. And again, you get the 2023 at a glance. And so, that's why. And it's because obviously, if you're putting the daily pages in here, which I do, you cannot fit the entire year in here at one time. And so they give you, obviously, I've got through June in here now, and then I'll take that out mid-year and I'll have that front page again for starting in July. So, but we have, obviously we're through January and we're into February. I have kind of a lot of things in here, but this is a March flip through, and I don't have too much stuff in here just yet. I have a couple appointments that I have coming up. My daughter's birthday is coming up, and I have a book club visit that I need to do on the 4th, and my darling Billy is getting groomed. But this is all I have in here right now, as well as these C's are here are when I have to go down to the clinic, but just so that I remember. But if you haven't seen, and you've probably seen the flip through of the Erin Condren Floral Planner, I love their paperweight. I love the way it writes, and the layout is nice. And I've tried a lot of different things and learned a lot from other, people obviously in the planning community, but I definitely need a monthly layout because as I'm making appointments or things are coming up, I'm writing them into my planner on those monthly pages. Because if I'm making a dentist appointment that's 6 months from now, I want to be able to write it down. And so for that reason, that's why I keep all of the year monthly pages in here. So you can see I've got all the way through December, even though I don't have all the daily pages to go with it because it would never fit and it would be super heavy. I do have all of the monthly pages, and that's why I can write down future dates and plans and things like that as they come up, and I'm not forgetting them. And I love the muted sort of florals that they have on here, and I find that this is just enough space for me, particularly if I'm using the Precise V5 pen tips to just kind of write down just what it is, what time it is, and I have it there at a glance. And so then you come over to their daily pages. Now, for a while I had experimented with having, just weekly pages, and that doesn't work because I like to write my to-do lists on my daily pages. And so I'll see if there's one from February that I could sort of share. So you can see, like, if I have appointments that day, I am writing them on the calendar. My daily, sometimes I'll use colors, kind of thing, like my daily to-do list. I like to have them on those pages. And if I don't get everything completed for that day, then I can transfer them to the new page. But I'm a to-do list fan. And so I really did need the daily layouts. Now, for a while, I had a layout where I had the monthly pages, I had a weekly spread as well, and then I would have the daily pages, which would have my, my to-do lists, and it had like kind of the hourly calendar if I needed that. And I realized I wasn't really using that weekly layout because I'm a very functional planner. I don't do a lot of I don't do a lot with stickers. I was using washi tape for a while, but even that's kind of fallen by the wayside. It's just gotten much more functional over time. And so I didn't really need that weekly spread if I had the monthly calendar that had the layout for appointments and things I needed to remember, and what was coming up. So this has been working for me. I've been doing this since the beginning of January, and I just kind of I think I have a few months of the daily pages, but honestly, I don't even need that. Like I could, and maybe I'll do that after this. I could go through and create a lot more space in this planner by removing the daily pages from, like, I'd probably keep February and March, just so I have that month ahead as well. And well, obviously this is a March flip through, so I'll have the March and the April daily pages in there. But then after that, just have the monthly pages, and that would free up a lot of space in this planner for me. So I might be doing that. We'll see what it looks like come April. So I was just going to kind of let you see the dashboards for each of the months, because I do think that they are so pretty, and there is that soft, it is a bit of color without being, too bright or overwhelming, and I just think it's very classic and pretty. This is the dashboard that they have for May. It's the lily. For June is the rose, and then of course we get into July, and we have I'll just show you, these are kind of cute. So I have another sort of marking the end of the first 6 months and the beginning of July. I added in another one of these cute vellum dashboards from Planner Press, and this one says, "I am who I am. Your approval is not needed." So I just always think that's a nice little reminder as well, which maybe sounds a little more aggressive than I feel about it, but it really is just sort of a reminder that your life is about what you're making of it, and it doesn't need to be, it's not about somebody else's journey, it's about your journey. So just remaining focused on that. And then we have this cute Louis Vuitton girl in her Ugg boots, and I have to have this in here because honestly, this is probably what I look like 95% of the time. So I just saw that and I was like, wow, like, if anybody, it's so on the nose that I was like, okay, here you go. And then we get into July, and they have this beautiful blue with the orchid. August, soft rose, poppy. September, we're back into sort of darker lavender. October. November, and finally December. And then I keep at the back of my planner extra just sort of notebook pages, and these are those Erin Condren pages that I had mentioned. Again, I love the feel of the paper that they use. I love the texture of it. I love the way it writes. It just sort of brings you a bit of that joy, I think, that is nice to have when you're working on your planning and what you'd like to accomplish that day or week or month or whatever you have going on. And so that's why it's sort of joyful. Oh, and one thing I wanted to point out, so you can see here where I'm using the large paper clips. I just kind of keep one at the top for the day that I'm on, and that just helps me quickly flip through to my to-do list for that day and where I am and what I'm working on. So that is pretty much, one other thing I wanted to mention, the pen that I'm keeping in here right now is a Kiki K. They are sadly going out of business, and so I have ordered as many of these. I think I'm up to 15 of these pens now just because I love them so much. And so whenever I can find them either on eBay or sometimes I found them on Amazon, I will snatch them up because KikiK will no longer ship to the US. And so I'm having to find them from third-party suppliers at this point. And I'm never happy with the ink that is in these anymore. The last ones I've purchased, it seems like they have a wide variety of different type of ink that they fill them with, but I just put the Precise V5 refills in here, and I am a super fan of how that writes. It's very fine, and it works beautifully with the just the right size for filling in these kind of small boxes on the monthly planning. So that's basically it for my March flip through. This is what I'll be living in and what we'll be working on. I'm not sure if I'm gonna maybe expand out what I'm doing with these 4 different tabs and maybe find something else to do with them other than, I'm sort of avoiding goals this year. And so that's kind of the thing, like maybe in the past I would have been a big list of like, this is my health goal and this is what I'm trying to accomplish with finances and health and writing and all these things. But I am really kind of not doing the whole typical goal thing this year. And I'll probably do a whole video on what I'm doing instead. It's not that I'm doing nothing, but it's not like I want to accomplish this by, April of 2022. And I just found that kind of pressure was not really working for me. And if it's not working, then it's not a useful tool. So goals are great tools when they're working for somebody, but I've just found year after year that they weren't really exactly getting the job done or doing what I was hoping that they would do anyway. And so I'm just sort of releasing myself from them, I guess you could say, for 2022. So I might see what might happen for those. Maybe those will turn into something more than just a catch-all note keeper. And then of course I'm going to revamp my my sort of daily index page. I definitely want to change out the colors. I noticed that I didn't line up some of the lines exactly the same, and so that's annoying. That'll annoy me, so I'll want to fix those. But by April, maybe I'll have a more, I think what I would like to have happen is have this be a very useful working document for me, and then have it be something that I could share with like a free giveaway for newsletter subscribers. So be on the lookout for that. I want to make sure that, it's the most useful for me that I can make it, and then maybe it's something that others could get some use out of as well. And so so more to come on that, but that is where we are. I am loving being back in my Louis Vuitton GM for now, but I will probably switch to some of my lighter more spring type color A5 binders when we get into, I don't know, maybe I'll stay in this for April, but definitely May and June, I'll probably switch to something more summery. But that is all I have for us today. Thank you so much for watching my March flip through of my A5 planner, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Thank you.